2025 will be an extraordinary year. How many times does a new year begin, bringing that feeling of now everything will change? But as the months go by, old habits return, the days feel the same, and before you know it, another year has passed without anything truly happening. Frustration builds up, and the question comes to mind, why doesn't my life change? The answer may be simpler than it seems. The transformation that so many people seek is not in empty promises or New Year's resolutions, but in a powerful secret that few apply, and that could make 2025 the best year of your life. The biggest mistake most people make is waiting for perfect conditions before taking action. But those who keep waiting for the ideal moment never move forward. Life doesn't change just because a calendar flips. It changes when attitudes change. Imagine someone who dreams of starting a business but never feels ready. Or someone who wants to strengthen their faith but keeps postponing that commitment until they have time. This cycle needs to be broken. The perfect time to start will never come, and that is the key to transforming destinies. The good news? You don't need to be a genius, have excess money, or wait for a great opportunity to fall from the sky. God has already placed everything necessary for victory inside each person. What's missing is not ability but decision. If you truly want 2025 to be different, you need to stop just wishing and start acting. Small steps today lead to great achievements tomorrow. Those who plant now will reap later. But those who don't plant will reap nothing. If you're tired of watching years go by without real change, it's time to discover the secret that can transform everything. And believe me, this revelation could be the turning point that will make 2025 the most incredible year of your life. How many times do people start a new year full of promises but never move forward? Life doesn't wait and dreams don't fulfill themselves. Every day without action is a lost opportunity. And those who are willing to take a step forward, even without all the answers, will see that 2025 can truly be the year of great transformations. See the coming year as a blank page, where each person has the power to write their own story. Nothing is set in stone, nothing is sealed. Have you ever stopped to think about how many incredible ideas never left the paper? How many talents were wasted because someone decided to wait for the ideal moment? The problem is that the perfect moment never arrives. Those who want real change must decide that 2025 will be a turning point. Mindset makes all the difference. People who believe in their own potential see challenges as opportunities. Those who doubt themselves see problems in everything. The question is, which group do you want to be in? It doesn't matter what happened in previous years, what went wrong, or who said it wouldn't work. What matters is what will be done from now on. The secret to success is not having guarantees but believing and acting even without them. But there's one undeniable truth: those who don't act fall behind. Imagine a person who always wanted to change careers but keeps saying, "Next year will be different." The problem is, if nothing changes, next year will be just like all the others. On the other hand, another person who decides to improve their skills, send out resumes, and expand their network will start seeing doors open. Not because they were lucky, but because they created their own opportunities. The difference between those who achieve and those who just dream is movement. What if 2025 were the year when each person stopped waiting and started building? Transformation happens when fear is put aside and faith and determination take the lead. Those who have the courage to break free from inertia soon realize that when you take action, answers appear along the way. God honors those who stand up to make a difference. Just look around. Successful people didn't wait for everything to be perfect. They started where they were, with what they had. Sometimes adjustments need to be made. The first plan might not work out, and that's okay. What can't happen is giving up at the first obstacle. Life will always test the determination of those who want to go far. Those who commit to making 2025 the best year of their lives must understand that challenges will come, but each one will be an opportunity for growth. What once seemed like a problem can become a great lesson. So what's your choice? Stay trapped in old habits or take the first step toward something new? The decision is in your hands. The good news is that no one needs to wait for a major breakthrough to begin. Small daily actions build great results. A simple habit, like reading for 10 minutes a day, can transform knowledge. A change in routine can open new doors. Small steps create great achievements. If there's a secret to making 2025 an extraordinary year, it comes down to two words: faith and action. Believing without acting produces no results. And acting without believing makes everything harder. The formula for success is combining both and moving forward without fear. After all, those who choose to rise up, even amid uncertainty, discover that the impossible is just a challenge waiting to be overcome. Life is full of uncertainties, but one thing is certain: those who wait for perfect conditions never accomplish anything. This truth is found in Ecclesiastes 11 verse 4. Whoever watches the wind will never sow, and whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. How many times do people get stuck in the mindset of, when everything is right, I'll start? The problem is that this perfect moment never comes. There is always something that seems out of place, always a detail that could be better. And so, the days pass, the months fly by, and another year ends with nothing having changed. The message is clear: stop waiting for perfect conditions and start taking action. The farmer who wants to harvest must plant, even without knowing if the rain will come at the right time. He trusts the process. And in life it's exactly the same. Those who want to grow professionally, for example, need to move forward even without absolute certainty that things will work out. Those who dream of starting a business must take the first step, even if the circumstances aren't ideal. True faith does not wait for all the answers before beginning. Many spend years trapped in inertia because they fear the unknown. But what would the world be like if everyone just stood watching the wind? If the great inventors had waited for the perfect moment, would we have airplanes, electricity, or the internet? Great achievements only happen when someone decides to take a bold step, even without guarantees. Doubt will always exist, but what defines winners is the willingness to move forward despite it. Ecclesiastes teaches us that the time to act is now. Those who wait for a difficulty-free season to start something important will never start at all. The Bible is full of examples of people who didn't have everything figured out but trusted and moved forward. Moses didn't know how he would cross the Red Sea, but he took the first step. David had no military experience, yet he faced Goliath. Peter didn't know if he could walk on water, but he stepped out of the boat. That's what faith is. Moving forward without needing to see the whole staircase, just the first step. What does this mean in practice? It means that the project that has been on paper for years needs to be started. That course that could open new doors must be taken. The forgiveness that weighs on the heart needs to be released. There is no need to wait for an extraordinary sign. God has already given the command. Move forward. He makes a way for those who trust in Him. But those who spend their entire lives waiting for a sky without clouds will miss the perfect time to sow. The world belongs to those who take action. Of course, this doesn't mean rushing ahead without planning or wisdom. But it does mean that at some point taking a risk will be necessary. You will need to step into the water before the sea parts. You will need to believe that something great lies ahead, even when everything seems uncertain. And it is in this movement that God works. He doesn't operate in the lives of the complacent, but in those who choose to trust and move forward. Those who choose to live by faith do not freeze in the face of opposing winds. They do not allow themselves to be controlled by fear or circumstances. Life will never be perfect, but that's no excuse to remain stagnant. The issue is not waiting for the ideal scenario but creating the ideal scenario with what you have today. It's about acting with courage because faith without works is dead. So the question is, what is being postponed? What is being left for tomorrow? The teaching in Ecclesiastes is a call to action. If 2025 is to be a year of great achievements, the decision must be made now. So even without guarantees, move forward even without seeing the end of the path. Because the harvest only comes to those who, at some point, had the courage to plant. Many people desire an extraordinary life, but few are willing to leave their comfort zone to achieve it. The problem is that growth and comfort do not go hand in hand. Those who always do the same things get the same results. Success in any area requires a person to face the unknown, embrace challenges, and accept risks. That is what separates those who live great stories from those who only dream about them. There are no shortcuts. If 2025 is truly going to be a year of achievements, it will take action. I have always dreamed of climbing an iconic mountain, one of those that challenge even the most experienced climbers. I spent months preparing, invested in top-tier equipment, hired a renowned guide, and chose the best time of year for the ascent. Everything was perfectly planned. But on the day of the climb, the unexpected happened. A sudden storm made it impossible to continue. No matter how well I had prepared, the weather was beyond my control. I was forced to give up. The frustration was enormous. How many times does this happen in life? We do everything right, follow the planned path, but then an unpredictable factor changes everything. I could have accepted that defeat, but something inside me wouldn't let me quit. So I decided to try again, but this time with a different approach. Instead of relying on a single perfect day, I chose a longer period and a guide who not only planned the climb but was also willing to patiently wait for the right moment. It was an exhausting journey, full of uncertainties, but when I finally reached the summit, the feeling was indescribable. One key difference? Patience and flexibility. I learned that success is not just about effort and planning. It's also about knowing how to adapt, persist, and not give up at the first obstacle. Many times, to achieve something extraordinary, we must be willing to change strategies and go beyond what most people are willing to do. This story teaches a powerful lesson. Success requires active effort, not just planning. Many people prepare everything, organize all the details, but at the first difficulty they give up. The secret is not just in starting but in continuing. When one strategy doesn't work, another must be found. Those who wait for everything to happen in the most comfortable way possible miss out on incredible opportunities. The comfort zone is a dangerous place because it gives a false sense of security. A person might avoid challenges, but they also avoid growth. And the truth is that everything truly worthwhile in life requires effort. Want a better relationship? You'll need to step out of routine and invest in communication. Want to grow professionally? Then you'll have to learn new skills, take risks, and seek challenges. Nothing happens by chance. Think about the greatest advancements in human history. They happened because someone challenged the status quo. The Wright brothers could have accepted that flying was impossible, but they insisted until they succeeded. Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times before creating the light bulb. And what about the countless entrepreneurs, scientists, and visionaries who changed the world? They all had one thing in common. They refused to live on autopilot. And in spiritual life, it's the same principle. Those who want to experience something new with God must break out of routine. Faith requires movement. Peter only walked on water because he had the courage to step out of the boat. Abraham only became the father of nations because he was willing to leave his land without even knowing where he was going. God always calls people into the unknown because that is where miracles happen. So, the final question is, could your comfort zone be holding back the achievements that could have already arrived? Could 2025 be waiting for just one bold step to become the year of transformation? If you desire something great, be ready to do what few are willing to do. Because it is those people who live the greatest stories. This story teaches a powerful lesson. Success requires active effort, not just planning. Many people prepare everything, organize every detail, but at the first difficulty they give up. The secret is not just in starting, but in continuing. When one strategy doesn't work, it's necessary to find another. Those who wait for everything to happen in the most comfortable way possible miss out on incredible opportunities. The comfort zone is a dangerous place because it gives a false sense of security. A person may avoid challenges, but they also avoid growth. And the truth is, everything truly worthwhile in life requires effort. Want a better relationship? You'll need to break out of routine and invest in communication. Want to grow professionally? Then you must learn new skills, take risks, and seek challenges. Want to strengthen your faith? You need to step out and trust, even when things seem uncertain. Nothing happens by chance. Think about the greatest advancements in human history. They happened because someone dared to challenge the ordinary. The Wright brothers could have accepted that flying was impossible, but they insisted until they made it happen. Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times before he invented the light bulb. And what about the countless entrepreneurs, scientists, and visionaries who changed the world? They all had one thing in common. They refused to live on autopilot. And in spiritual life? The same thing. If you want to experience something new with God, you must break out of routine. Faith requires movement. Peter only walked on water because he had the courage to step out of the boat. Abraham only became the father of nations because he agreed to leave his homeland without even knowing where he was going. Moses only saw the Red Sea part because he first raised his staff in obedience. God always calls us into the unknown because that's where miracles happen. So, the real question is, could your comfort zone be holding back the victories that should have already arrived? Could it be that 2025 is just waiting for one bold step to become your breakthrough year? If you desire something extraordinary, be ready to do what few are willing to do. Because those are the ones who live the greatest stories. True faith is not just believing but acting based on that belief. Faith without action is like a car without fuel. A person may have an incredible destination ahead, but if they never start the engine, they will never get there. The Bible is full of stories that prove this. Joshua only saw the walls of Jericho fall because he obeyed and marched around them. The widow of Zarephath only experienced the miracle of multiplication because she used the little she had. The pattern is the same. God moves when people move. Those who wait for ideal conditions before acting may spend their entire lives waiting. Many say they believe that 2025 will be a year of change, but are they willing to step out of their comfort zones to make it happen? Faith and determination go hand in hand. It is useless to pray for opportunities and reject challenges. If someone prays for a new job, they must prepare for interviews. If they want a restored relationship, they must be willing to forgive and rebuild. God opens doors, but it takes courage to walk through them. The difference between those who achieve great things and those who only dream lies in their willingness to act. Fear is real, insecurity exists, but those who wait until they feel ready never start. David didn't wait to become an experienced warrior to face Goliath. He used what he had and trusted. Faith will always require a step into the unknown because that is where God reveals himself. The question is, who is willing to take that step? Often, the only thing standing between a person and a great victory is persistence. At the first challenge, some give up. At the second, many retreat. But those who persevere reap the rewards. Imagine a farmer who plants seeds but, after a few weeks without seeing results, decides to pull them out of the ground. It sounds absurd, yet many people do exactly that in life. They start a project, face an obstacle, and quit before the harvest comes. Determination is the fuel of winners. No great achievement happens without effort. Those who want to learn a new language must study every day, even when it feels difficult. Those who dream of having a thriving business must endure moments of uncertainty. Faith is trusting that today's effort will bring tomorrow's results. There are no shortcuts, but there are rewards for those who persevere. Jesus said in Matthew 17 verse 20 that if we have faith as small as a mustard seed, we can move mountains. But notice, he did not say that the mountain would move on its own. Faith must be put into action. The change that many hope for in 2025 will not come through wishes or New Year's resolutions. It will come when people are willing to work for it. If you believe this will be your year of victory, then don't delay any longer. The time to act is now. God has already equipped you with everything you need to succeed. The only question that remains is, are you willing to take the first step? Everything said so far points to one simple truth. Life does not change by chance. It changes when a person decides to act. Many spend years waiting for the perfect scenario, but the biggest difference between those who achieve great things and those who stay in the same place is the courage to take the first step. 2025 will not be an extraordinary year on its own. It will be extraordinary for those who dare to step out of their comfort zones, put their faith into action, and persist, even when challenges arise. The biggest trap is believing that change happens all at once. In reality, it is small daily decisions that build a new path. Those who want to grow spiritually must dedicate themselves to prayer and reading the Word, even on difficult days. Those who want to prosper financially must seek knowledge and act with wisdom. Those who dream of a greater purpose must be willing to face challenges without giving up halfway. And what about difficulties? Because they will come. The difference is that those who understand this secret don't let themselves be stopped. Remember my story about climbing the iconic mountain. Those who accept the first no and give up miss out on incredible experiences. But those who persist, seek new strategies, and push forward see what few ever get to see. The same is true in spiritual, professional, and emotional life. Victory is not just for the most talented but for the most determined. Now that you know this, the decision is in your hands. You can finish this video and keep waiting for change to fall from the sky, or you can decide that 2025 will be the year of your transformation. Don't stand still waiting for the storm to pass. Take the first step and walk out of it. The choice is yours, and what you do from this moment on will determine what this year will bring into your life.